I've been following the real estate maybe for 25 years or something around Hamilton, actually everywhere. But I want to focus on Hamilton because Hamilton Stoney Creek is where I've been almost here, almost 40 years. Um, I want to focus where not to buy real estate. If you're using it for maybe making money, profits, and things, investment, you could get it there because most people that come out of town, they don't really know what the place is. They think it's good, but it is not good. But if you want to live in family or whatever, then you don't want to be in these places. I'll show you a couple places, really bad places that you don't want to live in Hamilton. Starting with this one here, from about here to about here where the Confederation Park ends. This stretch is one of the most polluted probably in North America. You got Selco, DeFasco, right here, chemical plants. 90% of the time, the wind goes right across and into this strip here. I think 20 years ago or something, they had some tests on birds, and they were surprised how much heavy metals these birds, brand new birds hatched from an egg, how much chemicals they had. In summertime, when the wind blows, you can't even breathe there. Another thing is there's, I think, 750,000 or 1 million volt power lines coming here from Niagara Falls. So you get a lot of electromagnetic radiation from it. Next, a couple years back, I'm not sure when, maybe 5 years ago, when the lake was very, very high, every single house on the lake almost was, if they had basements, they were pumping water out. All the basements flooded. Another thing is you get this highway here, so you get highway noise. Not only that, but you get the exhaust fumes from the cars, the diesel engines. Diesel engines are not so good, and you get a lot of tracks here. And also the brake dust. If you go to some of the, if it didn't rain for a while, if you go to some of the little parks here and you touch the slides, they're black. They're all black from pollution. Another thing is from here, the water goes out here, and I think there's a sewer plant on one side, and then the sewer plant on Woodward. Let me see here. Where's Woodward? Symphony Parkway. Woodward. There it is, the sewer plant here. So the wind kind of goes here sometimes, and it stinks. But all that goes somewhere in the lake. And what happens is, where is it? Right there. They put nice sand and all the nice grass right here. It looks like a beautiful beach. I think they clean it up a lot. But what happens is from here to about here, you get black sludge. 10-15 years ago when you go there was like 2-3 feet of black sludge. You can't swim in that water. People are swimming now. It looks clear because I think zebra mussels cleaned it up a lot, but a lot of times when the summer is hot and the water's hot, you can't breathe. It stinks right here. What else is here? There's a gas or oil pipeline, I think, that goes through there too. So this place, actually, from here, let me see here, let's zoom out here. From about here, going around, and here, I think they call it the cancer zone or shoe for generations. Another place you don't want to be is let's see here, just close beside the factories here. There's a lot of factories there. Even if the wind doesn't blow, you could still smell it. So Barton Street and up, I would not buy anything right here. They're a little bit cheaper, but these places were $50,000-$60,000 maybe 20 years ago. Nobody wanted to live there. Now they're going up to 600 and sometimes 700, but it's not good. Let's see what other places here. Yeah, so Barton Street is out of the question. Let me see here, what other places. Downtown. The last 5 years, Hamilton didn't do anything for the last 40 years. They didn't build anything. Now it looks really nice, But 2008 and 9, they were comparing downtown to Buffalo downtown, because the closer you got to downtown, the cheaper the properties were. Most of those prices never went up for at least 20 years. They actually went down some years. And when they built that, let's see, on James Street, they had a government building. Where's Square One? Let me see here. Oh, Jackson Square. When they built, let me see here. Is it John Street? No, Bay Street. That's right. When they built that brand new building right beside Jackson Square, right there, they renewed the whole road. I think it was like 15 or 20 years ago. And I knew that area would get nicer because everything was brand new. You get the Bay Street here wasn't good. These houses here were very, very thin right there. And they never went up for 20 years. They were anywhere from 80,000 to 100,000, 120,000. They never went up. The investors bought those things up, and they want $1 million for them now on Bay Street. They never went up. They're super skinny. And then this area here was all polluted because of the industry. And right here, the whole area here, except one piece somewhere, the whole area here in 2008, I think, was for sale. That went for months or years, was for sale for $650,000. There's 2.7 acres there. It's crazy that Hamilton, and almost downtown, you get all this free land. If I had a lot of money back then, I wish I would buy something, but the banks would not give you anything. Even for a mortgage, it is hard to get, and right now even harder. But all this stuff here was almost for free. There's another plot here somewhere. I think this one right there, the $650,000 was like an acre or something. It was almost free. And then downtown here, let me see here, Boulevard, Victoria Park. Let me see here. Oh, Bay Street right there. I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. This block. Let me see here. There's Jackson Square, James Street. I think it's Summit Main Park, King Street, Main Street. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, got it. There's Gore Park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The whole building here, I was reading, they're about 7 or 8 stories, and this one I think is a bank. The whole square here went for $400,000, 2008. Another building here, I think it's this big one here, apartment building. Maybe there's 100 apartment buildings. It caught on fire and nobody wanted to buy it. It was $400,000. And then you have Eaton Center here. It was built in early, I think, 90s. The cost was, what was the cost of it? I think it was $75 million. Then I think that sold for 2.6. But there's several people that bought it, never did anything. And then one person, very young person, bought this land or this part of Eaton Center. They got a plan of doing 2,000 apartment buildings. That project will cost about $1 billion. So there'll be a lot of apartment buildings. So Hamilton is building at a very fast pace the last 5 years. And there's a lot of buildings that went up here. The only thing is, I went with my son a year ago, and we went to the art gallery. There's the, I think it was art gallery. I think it's right here somewhere. And I wouldn't let my kids play around this area around. There's so much needles and crack pipes everywhere and homeless. The last 2 years I never saw so many homeless around downtown. So it might be good if you're single or whatever, but to raise a family downtown, it looks beautiful. It looks nice. They got the Canut, or I think it was Canut Hotel. They redid it. The apartments are $1.5 million or $1.2 million, I think, on top. But I would not live downtown with kids unless you're single and just working and stuff, and everything's so close. Even the building here, the city center, when I went there last year, I couldn't believe how many homeless were there, and there's about 10,000 cigarette butts on there. I don't think any government employees went through the front because there was a lot of homeless people. I think they all go from behind where they park here. So downtown, I would not buy anything if you want to raise a family. Now, let's see here. What other place? Okay. So Barton Street and North would buy nothing. Even Cannon Street and here is not so great. Here the houses were right there near Gage Park. There's a lot of little houses, and those were going maybe even 10, 15 years ago. You could buy a house here about 10 years ago for no more than 150, especially these ones here, and now they're going close to $1 million. The bigger houses here 10, 15 years ago were about 200. The big ones 300. Now they're going for like 1.2 and stuff. So that here I would not. The nicer places are Gage Park, and then this little area here. This would be, it's not bad area. So this is a pretty nice area, but it got expensive too. And another place where I wouldn't buy a house is the Rosedale here. Right there, there's two giant sewer tanks, and it's joined to that little river that they redid a while back when they created the highway. They moved the whole little creek, the creek here, and there's two giant storage sewer plants, and the water goes right down and into that little creek there. But the thing is, sometimes when the wind blows this way, this whole area here stinks like sewage. Another place where I wouldn't really get stuff, I already talked about it, it's probably here. Much cheaper. One person was buying up all these little houses for 150, selling it for 400. I'm going, that's crazy. That's maybe 10 years ago. But now those houses are pushing 7, 8, 900,000. And they redid this plant here, sewer plant. They spent over $300 million on it. And it looks beautiful. It looks like a palace. But I think they redid it, and a lot of that sewer will be cooked in these big giant things and sold to the farmers. So I wouldn't get anything here. Another place where I wouldn't get anything would be where's Highway 20? Centennial Parkway. There it is. Right up here. All this is brand new development. Look at it. 1.5 million, 1.2. These maybe 6-7 years ago were half the price. No, not half the price. About 450,000. So maybe 7 years ago. So there's 3 times more now. People don't realize that Mud Street. This whole area here is a dump. So people get the nice houses and everything, and they kind of keep it, like the trees are around here. They kind of keep it nice, but sometimes the smell comes off it. Maybe in 20 years it'll be a beautiful big park, but they're building it up, I think, 12 feet more